Nandagopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna. So I'll share my screen, that the verse that was given to us, and of course the title that was given to us. I hope the screen is visible. So the title was given to us as Causeless Mercy Can Change Everything. And the verse is from, which is the Phalashruti. So this is the Phalashruti, and it comes from the 6th chapter of the 10th canto of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, that is the deliverance of Putana. So this episode, this pastime of Putana, we will see. And this was the Phalashruti. This verse was given to me, and we will churn this verse, and of course the entire pastime. Ya etat putana moksham krishnayarbhakam adbhutam shunya shraddhaya martyo govinde labhate ratim. So I will be requesting all of your participation also. I don't know whether you all are able to unmute yourself or not. So if somebody wants to read the translation, please go ahead. Yes, Kiran Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, Hare Bol. Any person who hears with faith and devotion about how Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, killed Putana, and who thus invests his hearing in such childhood pastimes of Krishna, certainly attains attachment of Govinda, the Supreme Original Person. Hare Bol.
Yeah, thank you, Kiran Mataji. So we'll recite the verse one more time. Ya etat putana moksham krishnasarbhakam adbhutam shunyat shraddhaya martyo govinde labhate ratim. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Tadati Swapadantikam. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivas Adi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Guruve Gaura Chandrai Radhikaya Tadalaya Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha. Ananda Leela Maya Vigrahaya Hema Bhadavya Chavi Sundaraya Tasmai Mahaprema Rasa Pradaya Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Namaste Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Namaste Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Namaste. Ukam karoti vācālam pangam langāyate giram yatkripaha tamham vande Shri Guru Dīnatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Ishwaram. Hare Om Tat Sat. Hare Krishna. So before we begin, I'll seek all of your blessings so that I can speak something relevant to the subject matter that can really touch your heart and also help in transforming all over our hearts. And this is entirely for my own purification and of course in the glorification of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhaiva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Granth-raj Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki jai. So this was the verse which comes in the Phalashruti, that is the last verse of this chapter. Ya etat putana moksham krishnaya bhakam adbhutam shunyaya shraddhaya martya govinde labhate ratim. So here our Sukadev Goswami, after narrating the entire pastime of deliverance of Putana, he gives this Phalashruti. Ya etat, anyone who hear this, what Putana moksham, the pastime of Putana getting delivered, Krishna Arbhakam Adbhutam. And this comes where? In the childhood pastimes of Krishna. Krishnasya Arbhakam. Arbhakam refers to the childhood pastimes, which is Adbhutam, which is very, very wonderful. So anyone in this Martayo refers to this person who is there in this material world. Anyone who hears Shunnaya, if somebody hears these pastimes, these childhood pastimes of Krishna, which are Adbhutam, which are very, very wonderful. But how we have to hear? Shraddhaya. We have to hear with faith and devotion. Govinda labhate ratin. That person will certainly attain the attachment of for Lord Shri Govinda, who is the Supreme Person. So, then our Srila Prabhupada, he actually gives the purport to this, and he describes the importance of reading Krishna Katha. Srila Prabhupada Vacha. Krishna has left us many wonderful narrations about him. Simply by reading these narrations as they are described in Krishna book, that is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one gains salvation from this material world and gradually develops attachment to and devotion for Govinda or the Adi Purusha. So this is the beauty of Krishna's transcendental pastimes. They are so powerful that simply by hearing them, by studying or reading them, or even by memorizing any shlokas from those pastimes, one is surely transferred to the spiritual world. And that spiritual world, which is very, very difficult to achieve. But just see, this is the beauty of Bhakti Yoga, that you just hear the transcendental pastimes of Krishna with faith and devotion, and you will be transferred to the spiritual world. The descriptions of Lord Shri Krishna are Adbhutam. They are so attractive that it automatically gives an impetus to us so that we can study the pastimes of the Lord. More and more we study, the more and more we become attached to him. So this 21 days Śrīmad Bhāgavatam is actually giving us this impetus to study more and more Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, because Śrīmad Bhāgavatam is nothing but the pastimes of Lord Shri Krishna and of course his devotees. And the more we get attracted to study the pastimes of Lord Shri Krishna, and the more we get attached to Krishna, the more we become eligible to go to that spiritual world. So this is how our Srila Prabhupada gives us this, helps us to understand this, the importance of reading Krishna Katha, and we should study it. Prabhupada has spent his energy in writing these books. So at least as a matter of gratitude, we should study these books. And this is not only for Srila Prabhupada, but actually it is for us. Because Prabhupada says that you will be transferred to the spiritual world, which is the goal of our life. So we should be very, very enthusiastic in studying Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. So our Sukadeva Goswami, now he begins this pastime of Putanavad, of the deliverance of Putana. So what happened, that as the cowherd community, because they were all in Vraja and they were Vrajavasis, they were simple cowherd men, when they heard that Mother Yashoda had given birth to a very beautiful child, all the cowherd men, women, they became overwhelmed with joy. And they dressed themselves with so many various kinds of costly ornaments, and they smeared some scented cosmetics. All the men also wear nice dhotis and nice garments with nice necklaces and nice turbans they have put. And they all went to the house of Nand Maharaj. They went to Nand Bhavan to congratulate Nand Maharaj and Mother Yashoda. And they went all by themselves? No, they also took a lot of gifts, lot of presents to present Nand Maharaj and Mother Yashoda, and want to congratulate them on the arrival of Lord Shri Krishna. And Nand Maharaj was also so magnanimous, he was so great, that he very respectfully received all of them. And not only received, he satisfied their desires. He gave lot of charity, and whatever they desired, Nand Maharaj simply gave all these cowherd community. But to one person, Nand Maharaj didn't pay anything on the birth ceremony of his child, and that was Kamsa Maharaj. So the king also has to be satisfied. Yes, Nanda Maharaj was the king of Raja. He was Rajendra, but still Kamsa Maharaj was there. So he need to satisfy. He need to give taxes to Kamsa also. And thinking in this way, Nanda Maharaj, he decided to go to Mathura to pay this annual tax to Kamsa. Now, when he went, all the villages, he came to all the villagers, the cowherd people, and they said, please take care of Gokul, please take care of Mother Yashoda, please take care of Krishna, because I will be out. And Nanda Maharaj, when he reached Mathura, some of the cowherd men accompanied Nanda Maharaj there also. When he went, Vasudev Maharaj, he got this news that Nanda Maharaj is coming to give taxes to Kamsa. So he decided that I should go and meet. So Vasudev Maharaj, he went to the place where Nanda Maharaj was staying. And when Nanda Maharaj and Vasudev, they saw each other, that's it. Their life, their consciousness was regained. They both became overwhelmed with joy by seeing each other, and they embraced each other. Vasudev Maharaj received very warmly Nanda Maharaj and offered a very nice place to sit. And then two of them then discussed, and Vasudev Maharaj asked about his sons, about the protection of Krishna and Balaram, because Balaram is also the son of Vasudev Maharaj. So Vasudev Maharaj then said something to Nanda Maharaj that brought some anxiety in the heart of Nanda Maharaj. So what Vasudev said? Vasudev Maharaj said, my dear Nanda, if you have already paid taxes to Kamsa, so now it's the time for you to go and return to your place as soon as possible. Because I think that there are some disturbances that are coming in Gokula. So hearing this, our Nand Maharaj, he was anxious. He immediately started from Mathura to Gokul, but he was in anxiety. And Sukadev Goswami starts this chapter with the anxiety of Nand Maharaj. And he said, Shri Shukha Vacha Nandapati Vacha Shaure Namrishti Vichintayam Harim Jagama Sharanam Utpata Gama Shankita. So Shukdev Goswami, he started. Nandapati Vache Shaure. Here Shaure refers to our Vasudev Maharaj. So when Nanda Maharaj, he was coming back on his home to Gokul from Mathura, he was contemplating on the words of Vasudev Maharaj. And those words, Namrisha, Namrisheti Vichintayan. He was doing Vichintayan. He was contemplating. He was thinking. He was anxious. He was contemplating on the words, because those words, Namrisheti, those words were not false. Why? Because they had some purpose. They were not without some purpose or cause. Because Vasudev Maharaj was known to be the man of his words. So anything that comes out from the mouth of Vasudev Maharaj cannot be false. So this way he was thinking, oh, what inauspiciousness can come to my little son Krishna? And this way, when he was in anxiety, Harim Jagama Sharanam, he immediately took shelter of Lord Hari. Now, his worshipable Lord. So Nand Maharaj's worshipable Lord was Lord Narayan. So he immediately took shelter of Nand Maharaj. Utpata Agama Shankita, because he was afraid. He was disturbed of the disturbances that were expected to come in Gokul, because that was the warning that was given by Vasudev Maharaj. Somebody can read the translation. See, I want all of your participation. You can raise your hand, I can unmute you. Yes, Sunil Prabhu, go ahead.
Krishna Mataji. Shukdev Goswami continued, my dear king.
Sorry, Prabhu, sorry. Yes, go ahead.
Shukdev Goswami continued, my dear king, while Nanda Maharaj was on the way home, he considered that what Vasudeva had said could not be false or useless. There must have been some danger of disturbance in Gokula. As Nanda Maharaj thought about the danger for his beautiful son, Krishna, he was afraid and he took shelter with the lotus feet of Supreme Controller.
Thank you, Sunil Prabhu. So what Nanda Maharaj did, he immediately took shelter of the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord, his worshipable Lord, Lord Narayan. Now the question comes that Nanda Maharaj is the associate of Lord Shri Krishna, isn't it? He's the father. So how come he has that anxiety? Because we are not often told that when we surrender unto the Supreme Lord, then there is no anxiety. And here it has been mentioned, Utpatagama Shankitaha. He was afraid, he was anxious of some utpat which is coming up on the way. So why he was anxious? Because one way we see that one becomes abhayam, one becomes fearless if we take shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord. Bhajahure man Shri Nandanandana abhaya charanaravendare. One who takes shelter of Krishna's lotus feet, then naturally that he grants fearlessness. But here we see that there was anxiety in the heart of Nand Maharaj. But our acharyas, they comment that such anxiety for Krishna is considered to be the healthy anxiety. This anxiety that comes in the associates of Lord Shri Krishna, they never lead to any material discomfort in their lives. See, the anxiety which we have in the material world when we are anxious or when we get anxiety of some problems that we go through in our life, naturally it creates some disturbances in our life. But these anxieties that come in the heart of the pure devotees, there is no question of material discomfort in their life. Then how do we see such anxieties? So there our acharyas explain that Nand Maharaj is situated in Bhakti Rasa. And which Bhakti Rasa was he situated in? Anybody wants to unmute and say? What Rasa was Nand Maharaj in? Oh, I think so. Everybody should be allowed to unmute, otherwise it's a bit difficult. Yes, Narad Muni Das. Go ahead. Okay, Mridul Singh, if you want to go ahead.
I don't know. Hare Krishna Mataji, first of all.
Can I say?
Yes, Vinita Mataji, please go ahead.
Mataji,
Yes, sir.
Vatsalya Rasa.
Vatsalya. Yeah.
Vatsalya Rasa.
Excellent. He was in the Vatsalya Ras. So the Bhakti Ras in which Nanda Maharaj was known as Vatsalya Ras. And being in Vatsalya Ras, it's quite normal to get anxious for one's children's well-being. See, if Nanda Maharaj would have not been anxious, then naturally the question will come, what kind of father is he? He has no anxiety, he has no concern. So what sort of father was Nanda Maharaj? So these such anxieties, they are quite normal. And Srila Rupa Goswami, in his Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, he mentions that actually such anxieties, he's saying vichintayan, right? So such chinta, such anxieties are actually the sanchari bhavs. These are the transitory emotions that nourish one's sthai bhav. So Nanda Maharaj, Mother Yashoda, their sthai bhav is parental, or you can say vatsalya bhav. But to nourish that vatsalya bhav, some kinds of emotions, some kind of bhavs are needed. And these anxieties, this chinta, this concern for their child, they are considered to be the sanchari bhavs. And these sanchari bhavs actually nourish their sthai bhav of their vatsalya prem towards Krishna. So therefore they are known as transitory emotions. Means they come in a form of a wave, they rises up and they goes down. They don't stay there for a long time. They are temporary. They go on a high wave and they finally come down. So Rupa Goswami says that this chinta is also considered to be one of the sanchari bhav that was there in the heart of Nanda Maharaj. So we have to be very careful, that we have to understand that when such anxieties come in the heart of the pure devotees, then they don't bring any kind of material discomfort. These are the sanchari bhavas that nourish their sthai bhav. Okay. Then what happened? Sukadeva Goswami continues that our Kamsa, he came to know, because through Yogamaya, he came to know that Krishna has already taken birth. So he wants to devise a plan. And what plan he devised? Then our Sukadeva Goswami says Kamsena prahita ghora putana balaghatini shishumscha chara niknanti puragrama vrajidishu. So Kamsena, our Kamsa Maharaj, he employed Prahita. Prahita means he employed or he engaged. And he engaged whom? Ghora Putana. He engaged Putana, who was very, very fierce. She was very Ghora, and her name was Putana. And then adjective is used. She was Balaghatini. She was a Rakshasi who will kill shishums. She will kill small babies. And that's what her job was. She used to kill the infant babies, the small babies, and she will drink the blood of those small babies. Therefore, she is known as Balaghatini. She would kill all the infant babies. And Shishum's chachara nignanti. And in this way, she was roaming around so that she could find some small babies and she would kill. And she will wander in the various pura grama vrajidishu. She would go in various towns, cities, and villages here and there just to take some babies and to kill them. So, yes, somebody wants to read the translation. Yes, Balanujadas, go ahead.
Hare Krishna.
Wait, let me just. So you all are able to unmute, right? So I don't need to do anything. Yes, go ahead.
While Nand Maharaj was returning to Gokul, the same fierce Putna, whom Kansa had previously engaged to kill babies, was wandering about in the towns, cities, and villages, doing her nefarious duty.
Thank you, Prabhu. So our Putana, what she was doing, she was wandering around. Chachara nignanti. For what? Pura grama vrajidishu. And she was going to various towns and villages doing her nefarious duty. So Prabhupada writes nefarious duty. And what was her nefarious duty? Is to find out small children, to kill them and drink their blood. But our Srila Jiva Goswami, he mentions, our acharyas, they are so kind enough that they don't want any harm in Vraj. So he mentions that Putana would kill only those people, children, who were associates of Kamsa. So only their children were killed. Nobody in Vraja was killed. So this is a very sweet realization of our acharyas. So definitely nobody was killed. But when Sukdev Goswami, he said that she went to various towns and villages doing her nefarious duties. So at that time, our Parikshit Maharaj, who was listening this katha with so much absorption. See, this is very important. We should hear Krishna katha with so much absorption. Because when we hear, we feel the entire pastime is envisioned before us. We become the part of that pastime. So similarly, our Parikshit Maharaj. Now, this has already happened. Okay, Sukdev Goswami is simply narrating what has already happened in the past. But because Parikshit Maharaj was thinking with so much of absorption, he got worried. Why he got worried? Because now he got worried that, oh, Putana will enter Vraja also, and she will find Krishna, and she will harm Krishna too. So this was the thought that was going on in the heart of Parikshit Maharaj. And because the face is the index of the mind, this thought was reflected on the face of Parikshit Maharaj. So that even Sukdev Goswami noticed that our Parikshit is getting worried now, that what will happen. So to pacify him, to console him, Sukdev Goswami quotes, Na yatra shravanadini raksho gnani swakarmashu kurvanti satvatam bhartur yatu dhanyascha tatrahi. So our Sukadev Goswami is now consoling. And he says, the Rakshasas, the demons, the witches, or those ghosts, or those who are engaged in the black arts, and all those people who have these negative attitudes, they have no influence. Rakshasa gnani swakarmashu. They cannot exercise their power. Where? Na yatra, they cannot do it, but where? Shravanadini, where Krishna is glorified, where devotees sing about the glorification of Krishna or hear about the glorification of Krishna. Shravana Adi means the activities of Bhakti Yoga, beginning with hearing and chanting wherever it goes on. These witches, these ghosts, these Rakshasas, these demons, they cannot exercise their power in that place. And he's saying, Swakarmashu, they cannot influence, they have no influence on devotees because devotees are engaged in the hearing, in the Bhakti Yoga process. Kurvanti Satvatam Bhartur. So Satvatam Bhartur, Satvatam refers to the devotees and Bhartur means who maintains those devotees. And who is the one who is maintaining that devotees? Our Krishna. So Sukadev Goswami is saying, oh Parikshit Maharaj, don't worry, nothing will happen. Our Krishna is there and he is Satvatam Bhartur. He is the protector of the devotees. So therefore, Yatudhanyascha tatrati, all the disturbing elements, bad elements will not have any influence on Vraj, especially in Gokul. So yes, somebody can read the translation. Anyone can unmute. Okay, Anita Mataji, go ahead.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Translation by Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. My dear King, wherever people in any position perform their occupational duties of devotional service by chanting and hearing Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnuhu, there cannot be any danger from bad elements. Therefore, there was no need for anxiety about Gokula while the Supreme Personality of Godhead was personally present. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. So Sukhdev Goswami specifically spoke this verse to mitigate the anxiety that is there in the heart of Parikshit Maharaj. With this, we learn that when we also study Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, we should also study with so much of absorption, with so much of attention that we really feel that such pastimes are happening in front of us. And they happen. They happen. Every pastime, they happen in the heart of a devotee. Today, like we are discussing the deliverance of Putana. So naturally, this pastime is happening because Krishna is non-different from his name, from his form, from his leelas. So now here also, our Parikshit Maharaj was very much perturbed because he was thinking that Putana is going to cause some disturbance in Gokul. But Sukhdev Goswami assured him that don't worry, there will be no danger in Gokula. And then our Sukhdev Goswami, he starts narrating this pastime. And every pastime is narrated how? Once upon a time, ekada. And so he starts narrating. Sakhechari ekodbhatya Putanananda Gokulam Yoshitva Maya Yatmanam Pravishyat Kamacharini. So our Sukhdev Goswami says that that Putana, whom Kamsa has employed to go and kill all the babies, that Putana, who is Khechari. So the two adjectives have been used for Putana, Khechari and Kamacharini. Khechari means that she travels in outer space. She can fly and she can go from one village to another. She doesn't have to go only through a road or she just don't have to walk or take some cart. She can just travel in the outer space. So she was benedicted with such kind of benediction. So Sakhechari. So that Khechari, that Putana who can travel in outer space. Ekutpatya means once upon a time. Ekada, once upon a time. Utpatya, and she was flying because she was employed by Kamsa Maharaj. Yoshitva Maya Yatmanam Pravishtam Kamacharini. So she was flying and she's also Kamacharini. Kamacharini means one who can move according to one's desire. That today I want to go to this village or that town or that city. So first she can travel in outer space. That's why she is known as Khechari. And then she is Kamacharini. That means one who can move as per own desire. So she was moving. And then Pravishta, then she entered. Where she entered? She entered Gokul. But does she enter in her demoness way? The demoness form that she had? No. Then our Sukhdev Goswami says, Yoshitva Mayayatmanam, with her Maya, with her mystic energy, with her mystic power that she had, she converted herself into a very beautiful woman. So she converted herself into a very beautiful woman, Yoshitva Mayayatmanam, by her own mysterious mystic potency. And then she entered. Where she entered? She entered to Gokul. Somebody can read the translation. Yes, Narad Muni.
Once upon a time, Bhutna Rakshasi, who could move according to her desire and was wandering in outer space, converted herself by mystic power into a very beautiful woman and thus entered Gokul, the abode of Nand Maharaj.
Excellent. Thank you, Prabhu. So she entered Gokul, the abode of Nand Maharaj. Now the question comes, was she qualified to enter Gokul? Can anyone and everyone enter Dham? Because we know that Dham is Chintamani Dham. And to enter into the Dham, to leave Dham, it's all the mercy of Srimati Radharani, or the mercy of divine couple. So how come, what eligibility Putana had that she was able to enter that Dham? Then our acharyas intervene, and especially our Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he says that this is all because of Krishna's Leela Shakti. Yes, Putana had no eligibility to enter Gokul, but she entered. She entered by the power of Krishna's Leela Shakti, because that pastime has to take place. So her eligibility to enter Gokul was actually created by the Leela Shakti of the Lord. So Krishna, why? Because pastime have to be happen. Krishna appears in this world. Yes, Bhagavad Gita says, Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma samsthapanarthaya tam bhavani yuge yuge. That I come to annihilate the miscreants, to protect my devotees. But these are all externals. Then what is the real reason to perform pastimes? Our Sukhdev Goswami only in the 10th canto explains, Anugraha bhaktanam manusham dehimashritam bhajate tadrisha krida yat shrutva tadbharo bhavet. He says that actually to give anugraha, to show mercy on my devotees and to have some pastimes with those devotees, I come, I descend, and manusham dehimashrita. I take the form, a human-like form. I'm not a human being, but I do my Naravat Leela so that I can perform these pastimes. And yah shrutva tad paro bhavet. And anybody who hears those pastimes, who recite those pastimes, who study those pastimes, well, what will happen? They will become dedicated to me and they will come to my abode. So Krishna performs these pastimes. And to perform these pastimes, Leela Shakti intervened and made Putana eligible to enter Gokula. Our then Sukadev Goswami continued. He says, Yoshitva Mayayatmanam, that she dressed herself in a very beautiful woman. How she dressed? Then Sukadev Goswami describes how Putana decorated herself. So Srila Sukadev Goswami says, Kesha Bandha Vyastika Mallikam, that her hairs were nicely arranged and they were decorated with the garlands of Mallika flowers. So how? Kricha Madhyayamam, her waist was very slim. Suvasasanam, she was dressed very attractively. Kalpita Karna Bhushanam Tushassalat. Her earrings were nicely arranged on her ears and they were looking very, very brilliant. Kundala Mandita Ananam. Ananam means face. So her beautiful face was surrounded by the black hairs, by the locks of the black hairs. So she can transform herself in any form she likes. And Valgu Smita Apanga Visarga Vikshitaha. She was casting her smiling glance on everyone she was meeting in Gokul, and she was very attractively, she was casting on her sidelong glance. And this, our Acharya says that this smile was not the genuine smile. It was an artificial smile, because now she has entered into Gokul by the mercy, by the arrangement of Leela Shakti, so that she can perform this pastime of pretending to kill Krishna. Actually, she wants to kill Krishna, but it was all failed, right? So, Valgusmita Panga Visarga Vikshita. And finally, Amboja Karina, she was holding a lotus flower in her hand. So, seeing this beauty, all the Rajvasis, especially Mother Yashoda and Mother Rohini, thought that, oh, goddess of fortune has entered, because she was looking like goddess of fortune, especially she was holding that lotus flower in her hand. So what happens is that she was not obstructed by any one of them, because everyone thought that goddess of fortune has personally come, so they didn't obstruct her. So this way, Putana, who has no other business than to kill the small children, she entered the house of Nand Maharaj, and she was not obstructed. Without asking anyone's permission, she directly entered into Nanda Bhavan, where she saw a child who was lying on the bed. And that child, Prabhupada, Sukdev Goswami says that child is Ananta. He has the unlimited power, just like but that powers were covered, because the child was a very small child and he was lying on his cradle. So it was as if the powerful fire is being covered by ashes. So if you have seen any yagyas to be done, then there is a fire that is there. But sometimes the Brahminas, they will cover that fire with that ashes. But that doesn't mean the fire is extinguished. Still, with a small blaze, the fire comes up. Right? Similarly, this child, this our Lord Shri Krishna, he has unlimited power, but those powers were covered like a powerful fire is covered by ashes. And how old our Krishna was? Anybody knows? Wants to unmute and say how old Krishna was at that time when Putana entered? Anyone? Mridul Singh.
Yes. Yes.
Huh?
Should I read?
No, I just want to ask that how old Krishna was at that time.
Krishna was just a baby, only maybe 1 year old.
No, he was just 6 days old.
Oh.
Our Krishna was only 6 days old. It was on his Shashti that Putana came. And that's why Rohini and Mother Rohini and Mother Yashoda thought maybe goddess of fortune herself has come to write some nice, to declare his astrological charts. So why not allow her? So they allowed.
Oh. Thank you.
But thank you, Mataji. But at that time, what happened was, as soon as she saw, the Lord closed his eyes. And Srila Sukadeva Goswami, he writes this beautiful words. Vibudhyatam balakamarika graham characharatma sanimile takshana anantamaropayadamkantakam yathoragam suptama buddhirajyudhi. So there, our Sukdev Goswami, he says, Vibudhaya, understanding, tam means Putana, who is Balaka Marika Graham, who is very expert. She's a witch who is very expert in killing small babies. That Supreme Lord Charatcharatma, who is the super soul, who is present in all the non and moving and non-moving entities in this world. Chara Achara Atma. He is present as the super soul. He's all pervading. Aropyad Ankamantakam. Chara Charatma Sa Nimilekte Ikshana. Ikshana means his eyes. He closed his eyes when he saw Putana. So our Lord, who is known as Animisha, because he doesn't close his eyes. As Lord Jagannath, he doesn't even have eyelids. He doesn't close his eyes. He has such a broad eyes. Why? Because he wants to see even the minutest good that he can figure out in the heart of his devotees. So this way he's Animisha. But now in this pastime, he became Nimisha. He is Anantam, he is unlimited. But as soon as Aropyad Ankam Antakam, Aropya means as soon as Putana took that child from that cradle and she placed on her lap, on her ankam. So at that time, she puts, because she wants to kill that child by breastfeeding that child, because she has applied a poison on her breast. So she wants to kill that child. But antakam, but she was oblivious that her own annihilation is going to happen as soon as she has kept the child on her lap. And then our Sukadev Goswami, he quotes this, Yatharogam Suptam Abuddhirajjati. So he quotes this analogy. He gives an analogy that just like a snake, a sleeping snake, a person who doesn't have intelligence, he will mistake a snake to be a rope. So similarly, our Putana also mistook this. She was thinking that, no, this child is a small child and is sleeping, and let me take her on my lap and I'll poison this child. I'll give poison to this child and the child will die. But she was the least knowable of this fact that her own annihilation is going to happen because she has taken the sleeping snake on his lap, considering him to be a mere rope. So this is actually the Nyaya, Rajju Sarpa Nyaya, that is there in our Shastras, mistaking a snake to be a rope. So even the impersonalists, they have this idea, Jagan Mithya, Brahma Satya. But here that Jagan, this entire Jagat is Mithya and Brahma is Satya. But Srila Madhvacharya points out that for someone to mistake a snake to be a rope, he should have seen the snake somewhere and he should have seen the rope somewhere. So both of them exist somewhere. Unless both snake and rope are real, how can you mistake one for another? So this way we defy this philosophy of impersonalism, where they say Jagan Mithya and Brahma Satya. Actually, Jagan is also Satya. This Jagat is also Satya, but it is temporary. It is real, but it is temporary. It gets manifested and it gets unmanifested. So that's the right understanding. So this is the Rajju Sarpa Nyaya, where our Sukadev Goswami is quoting that our Putana, she thought that though this is just a mere rope, and she took that rope and placed it on her lap, but that rope is not just a rope, but is a sleeping snake. Somebody can read the translation. Yes, Kriti Mataji, go ahead.
Hare Krishna. Lord Sri Krishna, the all-pervading super soul lying on the bed, understood that Putana, a witch who was expert in killing small children, had come to kill him. Therefore, as if afraid of her, Krishna closed his eyes. Thus, Putana took over her lap him who was to be her own annihilation, just as an intelligent person places a sleeping snake on his lap, thinking the snake to be a rope.
Thank you so much. So our dear Krishna, he closed his eyes. But every act of Krishna is glorified by our acharyas. And similarly, the Lord closing his eyes is deeply commented by our acharyas. And they say, why? Why Krishna closed his eyes? And in this regard, our Srila Baladev Vidyabhushan, he gives one reason why Krishna closed his eyes. He said he closed his eyes to avoid witnessing the pain of the death of Putana. He doesn't want to witness the death because he knows that now he's going to kill Putana, and he don't want to witness that pain that Putana will feel of her death. So therefore, he closed his eyes. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur gives 5 reasons why actually our Krishna, he closed his eyes. And he says he closed to show that he is extremely small child, afraid of such fierce demons. So now he is behaving like the fire that is covered by the ashes. So though he is Ananta, he is all powerful or pervading, but still he showed that, oh, I'm a small child and I'm so much afraid of the fierce demon. So therefore, I don't want to see. And he closed his eyes. Second reason, he says, to avoid seeing such an auspicious demon as Putana. He doesn't want to see anything inauspicious because he was always looking at Mother Yashoda, Mother Rohini, all the Vrajavasi, cowherd girls, cowherd ladies. So now he doesn't want to see demon like Putana. So therefore he closed his eyes. Third reason he gives is that no cheating can remain in front of the vision of the Lord. So cheating tendency that a person carries in the heart, but that cheating tendency fails in front of the Supreme Lord. So if Krishna would have opened his eyes, then the cheating propensity that is there in the heart of Putana would have failed. And Krishna doesn't want. Krishna wants his pastimes to go on. So therefore, because he wants that cheating propensity that is there in the heart of Putana should go on, so he closed his eyes. Then fourth reason, that Lord wouldn't felt embarrassed to kill the lady who has shown the mood of a mother. So Lord would have felt embarrassed. He wanted to avoid that embarrassment because Putana approached the Supreme Lord as a mother to feed him. So she has shown the mood of a mother, and now the Supreme Lord is going to kill her. So he'd want to avoid that embarrassment, that somebody has approached me like a mother, shown me the mood of mother, and here I am to kill her. So to avoid that embarrassment, Krishna closed his eyes. Last, he did not want to see her suffering in the front of her hands. And one reason our Srila Sanatana Goswami also gives, and he says Putana was not qualified enough to look in the eye of the Lord directly. Previously, Putana was not even qualified to enter Gokul, but Leela Shakti arranged for her. When she was in face-to-face with Krishna, Krishna says, "Oh Putana, you are not qualified to look directly into my eye." And for that reason, the Supreme Lord, he closed his eyes. Now what happened is, so we saw that how Putana has entered and she took Krishna on her lap. She did not know that she was holding death personified on her lap. So Putana has killed so many babies before meeting Krishna. So she thought that even Krishna is also like the same. So she was hoping that as soon as I will breastfeed him, he will also die. He would suck my breast and he would die. So because the nipple of her breast was smeared with kalakutam, it was smeared with deadly poison. And that was an immediate effective poison. So the Supreme Lord, she thought that as soon as I'll give my nipple of my breast in the mouth of Krishna, Krishna will suck and Krishna will die. Thinking this way, what she did is she did this act. She put his nipple in the mouth of Krishna, but Krishna was super duper angry. He became so angry that, and to stop her for doing further such nefarious activities, what Krishna did, Krishna took hold of her breast and he squeezed it very hard with his two hands and he sucked out all the poison that was there. And along with that poison, he sucked even Putana's life air. So and so that she was not able to bear the pain, especially in that sensitive vital point. And Putana, she began to cry, "Please leave me, Munchan, Munchan." And she was crying, she was, "Please leave me, don't suck my breast any longer." And this way she was crying loudly. She was perspiring. Her whole body became wet. And she immediately, because of that screaming and because of the pain that she was feeling, she immediately died. And our Acharya, Sukhdev Goswami, further narrates this entire pastime. Definitely, we don't have that much of time in narrating the entire pastime. But what happened was that she fell after Krishna sucked out the life air from the body of Putana. Putana died. And there was a tremendous vibration on the earth and in the sky because Putana came to her own original form. She left the form of a beautiful lady that she was dressed in. She came into her own form and she fell on the ground. And while she fell on the ground, there was a vibration on that earth. All the upper and the lower planets and all directions, people thought that there is some thunderbolt that were falling. And finally, Putana's chapter was over. Her fallen body extended up to 12 miles and she smashed all the trees to pieces. Now here also our acharyas explain very nicely that Putana was running and Krishna was holding on to her breast, and Putana was running and Krishna made her run that she went across the entire Vrajmandal, means not Vrajmandal, rather from Vraja, where she was, from Gokul, and she landed up at the border of Mathura, where Kamsa Maharaj was there. And there Krishna made her fall on the ground, so that when she fell, all the trees of Mathura that belongs to Kamsa Maharaj, they were all smashed into pieces. Because Krishna doesn't want to harm even a plant, even a tree in his area. So he made Putana fell there, so all the trees were smashed that belongs to Kamsa Maharaj. And everyone was struck with wonder seeing this gigantic form of Putana's body. So in this way, our Putana, she left her body and her breast was being attacked by Krishna, and she finally lost her life. Now here, our beautiful realization of Uddhava comes. Because our Uddhava, when he met Vidura, when he was on his pilgrimage after the battlefield of Kurukshetra, Vidura left actually before this battle of Mahabharata. So he met Uddhava and he asked Uddhava about Krishna and about different Krishna's pastimes. So at that time, our Uddhava shared this beautiful realization. Aho bakiyam stanakalakutam jigham sayapaya yadapya sadvi lebhe gatim dhatri uchitam tatonyam khamma dayalum sharanam rajema. So our Uddhava shared that Aho Baki Stanakalakutam. She's Baki, she's sister of Bakasur. And she has smeared that deadly, dangerous poison on her breast. Stanakalakutam. This is not an ordinary poison. This is the dangerous poison that she smeared. And she smeared, and then she came to Nand Bhavan to kill Krishna. Jigham, because she was filled with malice. She was filled with enviousness. And Saya Payad Api. And then Appayad means that she made Krishna drink that poison by pushing her breast in the mouth of Krishna. Api Sadhavi. So now Uddhava is saying she is a Sadhavi. She is unchaste. Why? Because she came in the attire of a mother, but she doesn't have an attitude of a mother. Her intention was to kill the child. But our Krishna is very, very merciful. He looked at her actions of being a mother and not her intentions to kill her. So the merciful Lord, he finds all the reason just to bestow mercy. And in this pastime also, he saw this reason to be good enough, to be enough to bestow mercy on Putana. That her attitude, though was not good, but her attire was suitable of being a mother. Her intention was to kill, but her action of feeding Krishna was pure. So Krishna thought, okay, this is enough reason for me to bestow mercy. So lebhe gatim. So he gave the highest destination to Putana. And what is that highest destination? Dhatri uchatum tananyam. He gave him the destination of being a nurse, being a dhatri, position of a maid servant, and that too in the spiritual world, which is very, very difficult to achieve. But Krishna immediately transported Putana as a maid servant of Golok Vrindavan. Kam va dayalum sharanam vrajema. If Krishna can bestow his mercy on such a malicious demon like Putana, then what to speak of his pure devotees? Therefore, there is nobody as magnanimous, as merciful, as compassionate as my Supreme Lord. Somebody can read the translation. I have to unmute every time. Okay, Balanuja Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji, my name is Balanuj Das.
Balanuja Das, sorry.
Alas, how shall I take shelter of one more merciful than he who granted the position of mother to she-demon Putna? Although she was unfaithful and she prepared deadly poison to be sucked from her breast.
So this was Krishna's mercy, that Krishna was very merciful. And our Sukhdev Goswami is also saying that Putana was hankering to kill Krishna. But Krishna is so merciful that he neglected all the malice, all the envious that Putana had in her heart, and gave him the highest perfection of serving Mother Yashoda in the mood of Vatsalya Bhav, because he gave him the position of a mother, of a nurse. And that is the highest perfection. Therefore, because even our Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that the affection of the gopis, it's the highest, whether they are in that Madhurya Bhav or they are in Vatsalya Bhav, but they have the highest perfection of life. Ramya Kachid, Ramya Kachid Upasana, Vrajavadhu, Vargena Ya Kalpita. So even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, and see, this is the magnanimous nature of Krishna. So this is the mercy of Krishna, where M stands for the magnanimous nature of Krishna. Yes, Krishna's mercy is unlimited. He is generous. Even to someone like Putana, who came with the intention to kill Krishna, he gave the highest benefit. This shows his mercy is not small or conditional. It is magnanimous. In this case, we see something extraordinary that is happening. Putana has this desire to kill him. Yet Krishna accepted her not on the basis of her intentions, but only on the external act of offering him motherly love. This shows Krishna's magnanimity. He looks even the smallest good in us and he expands it. That good may be considered to be a tilamatra, to be like a sesame seed, but Krishna considers him to be a big mountain. Whereas what is our nature? We judge everybody on the faults. We see somebody's little fault and we expand it like a big mountain. But Krishna is very, very magnanimous. E stands for that he is ever forgiving. Yes, Krishna is ever forgiving. Krishna does not hold on to grudges. If Krishna would have hold on grudges, do you think Krishna would be there as Paramatma in the heart of every living entity for time immemorial? We are in this lifetime. But Krishna is there with us as Paramatma, always guiding us. So he's ever forgiving. Putana's offense was extreme, yet he completely overlooked it. This teaches us that no matter how many mistakes we have made, Krishna is always ready to forgive. How much imperfect, how much fallen we may be, but Krishna never rejects us. The moment, what Krishna is waiting for, Krishna is only waiting to forgive. So his forgiveness is not partial. It is total and it is unconditional. Where R stands for release all sins. Yes, Krishna's mercy. Krishna didn't just kill Putana. He purified her completely. All her sinful reactions were removed. And that is the power of coming in contact with Krishna. He doesn't only just forgive, he transforms. Right? So all the accumulated sins that Putana had for lifetimes, Krishna forgiven. He relieved her with all the sins. So even in the spiritual life, we often should not worry about our past karmas and reactions, because the moment we come in close association of Krishna's name, form, his pastimes, then naturally it purifies our heart and it relieves us of all our sins. C stands for his compassionate nature, compassion which is beyond justice. See, if we think of justice, then Putana, by justice, Putana deserved punishment because she came to kill Krishna. But Krishna acted with compassion instead. This shows that his mercy goes beyond what we deserve. It is higher than our karma. Justice gives us what we deserve, but mercy gives us what we don't deserve. That is why it is known as mercy. Krishna chooses his compassion over punishment. And even if there is the slightest opportunity, Krishna is ready to give. This gives us hope. This gives us assurance that our spiritual progress does not depend only on our qualification, but it depends upon Krishna's compassion. Then finally, Y. Y stands for it yields spiritual perfection. Yes, our Putana, the most astonishing part is Putana didn't just get forgiveness. She attained the highest spiritual perfection. She attained a motherly position in relationship with Krishna. That is the highest perfection that she achieved. So therefore, we should always remember Krishna. And in this regard, King Kulashekar prays, Mukunda Murtna Pranipatyayache Bhavantamekantamiyantamartham Avismritistva Charanaravinde Bhave Bhave Mestu Bhavat Prasadat. King Kulashekar says that, O Mukunda, Murdhana Pranipatyayache, I just beg you and I respectfully bow down to you, my head. Murdhana means my head. I bow down my head at your lotus feet, very, very respectfully, with pranipat, with very respectful manner. And I only beg. What I beg, Bhavantam, oh good yourself, oh your good self, I want only one thing. Ekantam yantam artham. I have only one desire to be fulfilled, and exclusively just one desire. Don't think that I'm fooling around. I'll say one desire and then in next verse I'll say another and then next verse I'll say another. So King Kulashekar says, I have only one desire, and that one desire I want you to fulfill. And what is that desire? Avismristva charnaravinde. May I always remember you. See, smritis means to remember. Vismriti means to forget. And avismriti means to get freedom from forgetfulness, means to always remember. I always want to remember what? Tvacharanaravinde, your lotus feet. And do you want only in this one lifetime, Krishna may ask? Then King Kulashekar says, no. Bhave bhave mestu bhavat prasidat. I want this one desire to be fulfilled birth after birth. In my repeated birth, I want that your mercy, mestu bhavat prasadat, your mercy should fall on me. And life after life, my only desire is to remember you. Lotus feet. I'll read this in interest of time. O Lord Mukunda, I bow down my head to your lordship and respectfully ask you to fulfill this one desire, ekantamiyantamartham, that is, in each of my future birth, bhave bhave, I will, by your lordship's mercies, tu bhava prasadat, always remember you, asvasmistva charanaravinde, always remember and never forget your lotus feet. Srila Rupa Goswami also says, this is the thumb rule, that always remember Krishna and never forget Krishna. Even Narad Muni, when he was quoting the pastime of Prahlad Maharaj and Hiranyakashipu, he told to Maharaj Yudhishthir, Tasmat kena pyupena manah Krishna nivesha, that somehow or other, one must seriously meditate on Krishna's form. One must think of Krishna. So in this regard, our Srila Rupa Goswami, in context what Narad Muni told to Yudhishthira Maharaj, he also says, Yena kena prakarena manah Krishna niveshaya. Some way or other, just engage your mind in Krishna. Why? Because causeless mercy can change anything. So thank you all so much. We will stop here. And thank you for your wonderful association. With this, we can have this one take home, Yena Kena Prakarena, that somehow or other, Manha Krishna Niveshaya, we can always focus on Krishna, because Krishna's mercy can change everything. Thank you all so much. Vancha kalpatarupescha kripa sindhuva evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnavrind ki jai. Shri Grantraj Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, and all the assembled Vaishnavas ki jai.
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you so much for such a wonderful session. We could actually visualize every part of the story because you were narrating it so deeply and with so much love. We could feel that through the screen, Mataji. We all can chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra as a token of gratitude for Mataji for giving such a wonderful session.
Mataji, one thing I would like to say, that all glories, this entire credit goes to all of you. If you were able to envision this entire pastime, it is because you were hearing, all were hearing with rapt attention. So all credit to all of you, all of your sincerity. I know the time is up, but I am open for any questions, any suggestions, any comments. Those who want to leave, I don't want to hold on to you. But those who want to leave, they are more than welcome to leave. And those who have some questions, any suggestions, any corrections, You can please wait and you can ask. I'm ready.
Okay, Mataji, but would you prefer the devotees asking directly, or I can read it out the questions to you?
Either way is okay.
Okay, Mataji, then I can read out the questions. So, yeah, I'll be reading out, Mataji. Wait a minute. Yes, Mataji. So the first question is, thank you for such a nice class. But Mataji, what happened to the poison which was sucked by Krishna?
Very nice. What happened to the poison? So none of the poison in this entire world can harm Krishna. So Krishna, along with that poison, sucked out the life here. So definitely poison cannot harm Krishna because Krishna is beyond all these material things.
Yes. The next question is, Mataji, why did Krishna let the trees of Mathura die? Eventually, all trees belong to him, either of Braja and of Mathura. Both are his only. So
Yes.
why?
Yes, everything belongs to Krishna. Even the trees of Mathura belongs to Krishna. But still, he preferred that the trees of Mathura should die, because that can give an alarm to Kamsa Maharaj that the first demoness that he has sent, Putana, was an extreme failure. So this was an alarm to Kamsa Maharaj.
Yes, Mataji. The next question is, if we are able to enter physically to Vrindavan, does it mean we are eligible? And the second part is, if we enter physically but our consciousness is at home, then what happens?
And if we are not eligible, but if Srila Prabhupada's mercy, do we enter? Very nice question. So yes, to enter into Dham, we need the mercy. For sure. You cannot enter into Dham if we do not have mercy. That mercy is beyond our eligibility, as we have seen. Okay. That mercy comes from where? So it has been explained that once you enter into Dham, especially Vrindavan Dham, you should have the recommendations to enter into Dham from 5 things. First is our Gopeshwar Mahadev, because he's the one who is guarding that Dham. Then is Mother Yamuna. Third is our Govardhan, our Giriraj Govardhan. You need recommendation from him also. Next is we need recommendation from Vrajraj, the dust of Vrindavan Dham. And when all these recommendations are there, finally it is submitted to Srimati Radharani, who is the Adhishtatri Devi of that Vrindavan Dham. Without her mercy, it's impossible to enter into Dham. So if we are able to enter Dham physically, we should be grateful to all these 5 personalities, and especially to Srimati Radharani, who is allowing us to enter into Dham. Now question comes that when we enter into Dham and our consciousness is at our home, so what's the use? So definitely there is no use. But still Rupa Goswami says, Tishthan Vraje. In his Updeshamrita, he says that one should always try to reside in Dham. And that residence in Dham, that entrance in Dham will come from all these personalities when they will help us and when they will give our recommendation. But at the same time, staying in Dham is very important, even if our consciousness is not good. But the point is that we should always keep our consciousness to Vrindavan Dham, to such Dhams, even if we are not in Dham. So in that verse, when Rupa Goswami says, Tishthan Vraje, our Srila Prabhupada points out that everybody may not be eligible or may not have this opportunity to enter into Dham more often. So with your consciousness, you can always enter Dham. So best is ideal scenario is when we are able to physically enter Dham, as well as we are able to mold our consciousness also into Dham. The second is, if we are not able to physically enter into Dham, then at least with our consciousness, we should always think of Dham. That increases our separation for Dham. That increases our remembrance for Dham. And the last scenario is that what you mentioned, when you are physically present, still you should be grateful that at least physically you are allowed, even though your consciousness is at your home, is not in your Dham. That's the third scenario. So yes, we are not eligible, but it's the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, it's the mercy of the Vrajvasis, it's the mercy of Vrajraj, it's the mercy of Yamuna, it's the mercy of Gopeshwar Mahadev, it's the mercy of Govardhan, Giriraj Govardhan, that we are able to enter. Hope that helps.
Yes, thank you for your answer, Mataji. The last question for the night is that Mataji, can we say from this Leela that one should dress very beautifully when approaching Lord and serving Lord, like Putna did in this Leela? What is the Acharya's explanation on the aspect of Putna dressing in a beautiful woman?
Yes, very nice question. So Putana dressing her into a very nice woman was not her real intention. She dressed herself so that she should not be obstructed. If she would have come in her own demoness form, she would have definitely not been allowed. But in the start of the class, when I mentioned that how, when all the Vrajvasis, they came to know that, oh, our Yashoda has given birth to a child, what they did, they all were very happy. They dressed themselves very nicely and they wear beautiful, expensive ornaments, beautiful dresses. And even the men, they were wearing beautiful turbans and they all went with gifts, with presentations to congratulate Nanda Maharaj and Mother Yashoda on the birth of Lord Shri Krishna. So that we should also have, that whenever we go to temple, first of all, we should be nicely dressed, because we are not here dressed to attract somebody else to the opposite sex, but we are here to dress because we are there going to see the Supreme Lord, who is non-different. That Archa Vigraha is non-different from that Supreme Lord. So we are going there to see him personally. And secondly, just like all the Vrajvasis, they carry some gifts, we should also not see the Lord empty-handed. We should put something or the other as per our capability. I'm not mentioning any amount. Even Srila Rupa Goswami doesn't mention. But he mentions this, that as per one's capability, we should offer something in the hundi. Maybe 1 rupee, maybe 2 rupee, maybe 5 rupees, maybe 10 rupees, maybe 100 rupees, whatever our pocket allows. So Rupa Goswami says that he mentions this as one of the limb of devotional service, that whatever capacity possible, you should put something in the hundi, because we don't see the Lord empty-handed. But here Putana, she was not dressing because she wants to please the Supreme Lord. She dressed herself because she wants the entrance in Goloka, in Gokula, so that she should not be obstructed by any of the cowherd girls and ladies. Hope that helps.
Yes, Mataji. Thank you for today's session. Devotees can unmute themselves and chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra for Mataji.
Hare Krishna
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Suvarna
Krishna
Mataji.
Krishna, Hare
Mataji.
Hare,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Rama
Mataji.
Krishna,
Rama,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Shri
Hare
Mataji
Ram,
ki
Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
So very
Path
much.
ki jai. Srimad Bhagavatam
Suvarna
ki
Mataji has something to say. Mataji, you can please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Dandavat pranams. Thank you so much for enlightening class. I would like to ask you, give me suggestion how to remember Krishna without fail. Please suggest me just one sloka or something. We have to remember all
Ananyas
the
chintayanto mam, ye jana paryupasate. Krishna says himself in Bhagavad Gita that with ananyata, with one pointedness, we should always remember Krishna. Satatam, we should always remember, always. But there, our Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he knows that Kali Yuga Jivas, it is very much impossible to remember Krishna 24/7. So he says at least once in a day. So we should remember all the time, but at least once in a day, we should make it a habit to chant few rounds, to sit nicely, to offer some arati to Krishna, to read Śrīmad, to study Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, to narrate Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. Yes, we can narrate Śrīmad Bhāgavatam to our lordships. You can narrate, you can offer some beautiful verses that are there in Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. Memorize those verses. Somehow or other, try to engage yourself. If you cannot chant always, it's okay. Study Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. If you cannot study, few minutes, at least for half an hour, study Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. Make a note, memorize a verse. Repeatedly sing that verse whole day, even while you are doing your household chores or you are doing any of your so-called duties. Like Mother Yashoda, she herself teaches. What she was doing in that Damodar Leela. Sukadev Goswami himself says that she was churning butter, but at the same time while churning Gitani, she was singing the glories of Krishna. So whatever work we are doing, we can always call out Krishna's name. Any name that is dear to us, we can call out Radha, we can call out Govinda, we can call out Radha Madan Mohan, Radha Govinda, any name that is dear to our heart, we can call out Krishna's name and try to remember him. Try to always pay our gratitude to him, being always grateful to him. So these are many ways by which we can try to remember Krishna all the time. The thing is that we have to dovetail our life. If we are so fond of hearing Bollywood songs, then let's hear Krishna songs. If we are so fond of cooking, let's make Krishna in the center and cook for Krishna, that Krishna will be happy. Keeping Krishna in the center of our life. Taking care of our children. It looks such a materialistic, people also take care of the children. But we take it with a consciousness that these are the devotees of Krishna. I have been entrusted this responsibility. So let me perform this responsibility fully. And I am taking care of my children because they are devotees of Krishna. I am taking care of my spouse because he or she is the devotee of Krishna. With that intention, even if we are doing our regular jobs, our regular activities, it is dovetail into devotional service. So these are some practical aspects. And definitely everybody has their own way of remembering Krishna. So you can introspect your own life and follow whatever suits you. Hope that helps.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. It
Thank
seems
you.
devotees are very eager to ask you questions, but I would like to say that we have to end the session today because we do have some other classes at the same point
Definitely.
at the same
Definitely.
time. Thank you so much for your association, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Once again, Mancha Kalpatarubhishcha Kripa Sindhubhayeva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrind ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Granth Raj Śrīmad Bhāgavatam